Look at this.
We've got a bit more youth.
Wow. So we're talking a lot of money. Realise you can actually spell.
Just dots and lines, dots and lines.
Do you reckon they'll fit the helmets in here?
I don't know.
Let me tell you a story. Oh my God.
Have a look at your clean helmet. Turn it round. Look at the peak underneath.
Yeah, well, I didn't wash under there.
That's how you're giving your helmet to them.
So, what I'll do,
Here we are. Office gallery. How you doing?
Alright, Jimmy.
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
Good.
alright.
Look at this. So, if you want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Steph.
I'm Lee, the name on the door.
So, Lee, you are the man who's going to be doing the painting.
Yeah.
Tell us briefly about your history and what you do with this.
Right, okay. Motorcycle accident 2011 is the reason I airbrush. So I had a lot of time on my hands, not a lot to do. And it sort of developed from there, really. We started working on small engine covers and developed the artwork, developed what we do, and it's sort of gone from strength to strength from there, really.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
And you do all sorts of stuff. You're doing like
We literally,
motorbikes
anything that stays still long enough, we'll paint it.
Yeah.
So we do wooden portraits, so portraits on pieces of wood, all the way up to full custom paint jobs on vans, like the bonnet you can see there. We do helmets, we do mountain bikes, we do road bikes. Pretty much, if it'll stay still long enough, we'll paint it.
So I'd say your biggest one in mountain biking is obviously the Athertons.
Yeah, we paint the Atherton customer bikes and their World Cup bikes, and we do quite a few of those.
And the helmets.
And their helmets, yeah, we did their helmets for the last season.
Yeah.
And we've got a poster up on the wall there. Yeah, so we've worked well with them. Their bikes are amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really exquisite design and build. So it's nice to be part of their production and what they're doing, basically.
So we bought you these ion helmets. Just explain a little bit about the procedure. You know what has to happen.
We grab this lovely clean one. That's
Yes, Todd's done an awesome job of cleaning them.
Todd's done an awesome job, yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. Even if it was as clean as yours, Jim, it's got to be cleaned chemically as well as soap and water. So first things first, obviously we'll remove all of Todd's additional stickers.
Yeah.
And then we'll start prepping the surface once we get the visor off. All of the inside there, so all of the where your head contact is and all of these bits will all be masked off or removed if they're easily removed. I know these come off quite easily. All of the band around the bottom and the band around the visor area will be masked off, and then more importantly all of the vents will be masked off in such a way that there's no way the paint can get through.
Yeah.
You've got to be very, very careful when you paint helmets. There's a foam interior in there that's very reactive in a bad way to the thinners in any lacquers or paints that you use. So mask all of that off. Then it'll have an epoxy layer put on there, which is a really strong paint. It basically goes off through chemical reaction and is rock hard. That gives you a good surface then to paint on top of. And then depending on what design we go with, we'll base colour it. So generally it's black for most designs, but sometimes it's white depending on what they're doing. And then we'll airbrush the design on.
Yeah.
Once all of the airbrushing is done, it'll have 2 coats of lacquer. It'll then be flatted all the way down again, which removes any lumps, bumps and bits from any of the airbrushing that we've done. and then it'll have another coat of lacquer then, which will make it as glossy and shiny as your factory helmet paint job, basically. So obviously, if it wants to be matte or satin, then we basically just up the last lacquer we change up what we're doing. So you can see on my helmet over there, mine is matte.
Yeah.
Whereas Steph's is gloss. So the difference is in the last section of the lacquering stage.
So Steph's is like, it's like a fake weld, isn't it?
That's mine. Mine's
that's
fake
yours.
weld,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's...
So mine's TIG welded.
That's super cool. That is. That must
then,
have been quite hard to get that effect.
It took some research to get it to work. But yeah, we will try anything, and until we get it right.
And Steph, you are. Are you the brains? Are you the
general
brains?
dog squad is what I am.
Yeah. Well,
no.
I've looked at the designs, and I think you're a bit more than that. So you, what's the process with design? Just start researching and looking at lots of stuff online.
It's hard. You need to get to know the person, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to sort of pick out some of the ideas that are in their head, get to know them a little bit, and start coming up. Because I think a lot of people find it really hard to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And come up with something different, especially because Lee's really good at painting sort of quite arty things as well, portraits, textures, rather than just being a graphic design helmet, something a bit more. So I was having to play with something for Todd.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, going a bit more youth.
Wow.
Going a bit more kind of graffiti walls. It's got texture, it's got depth. You can add a bit of the graphic sort of element with bold lines, sort of accentuating the helmet, obviously making sure you've got your brands where they need to be, and then we can have a look at what we actually put on the wall of the helmet, different phrases, things like that. But it's just finding a starting point. Okay. So that's your starting point. I can then work with Todd and go, right, what can we do to this to make it right for you, that you be proud to wear it, basically. Yes. And then maybe also, I thought that would work, that if you did want to add stickers to it that could be removed. Yeah. You can put them on and they won't be out of place.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the other thing. That was my other logic.
And also, so say a punter comes here and they want this doing.
Yeah.
Firstly, on quite a complex design like this, how long would you be looking at having the helmet, and what would we be looking at very roughly cost-wise between?
So turnaround time, a lot of the work is actually in the prep.
Yeah.
So getting that helmet to the point where Lee can then paint it. Lee would probably work on painting that over 2 full days.
Yeah.
And then we'd probably have, 3 days, 4 days prep roughly to get it to where we want it to be, so it's right, and that it's masked up accurately. I do quite a lot of that on the helmets as well. So I do the design and the industrial stages, and then Lee will do the actual painting for one from there. Sort of the turnaround then after that, I think you're probably looking up to another week by the time it's got the right lacquered levels on, and then it's been flat and polished, and,
so
and
we're
it's ready to
talking
go.
a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean that kind of level of design, so with that detail, £700, £800, £900, depending on how many different elements.
It's not that bad if you look at how much time goes into it.
I think so. I mean, I think people don't always realise the level of work that goes into it, and how much it takes to actually get to a professional end result, and bearing in mind, like Lee said, safety. Yeah. You can't mess about with helmets. We need to know that what's going out that door, we feel 100% confident is safe on that rider's head. Yeah, okay. And that's important to us.
So what better way to see exactly what these guys do to actually have a go of one of these little airbrushes, something I've never done before, so this could be quite interesting.
I don't expect you to be amazing at this straight away.
I do, Todd. You're not getting a lift home if you're not good at it. You better be brilliant at it, Todd.
He painted his own helmet, wasn't he?
So you just add it into the top of there?
Yeah, I'll just mix it in the cup, I'll show you in a sec. So you put it in the top there, in the cup, and then I've put 5 drops of thinners, 2 drops of paint, and then because it's so thin, it'll go through the between the needle and the nozzle with a spray pattern. Now on an airbrush, it's a round spray pattern, whereas on a spray gun, like those 3 over there, they've got different sort of patterns, so they've got an oval pattern. Yeah. Because you're putting paint on in a different way. So with this one, I won't paint on your paper, Todd. So with this one, you can go a lot closer and then you can get a small thin line, and you can go further away to get a thick line. Right, how it works, okay?
Yeah.
Press down on that, gives you air.
Yeah.
Pull back on that, gives you paint.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So press down, pull back for paint, push forward to turn the paint off, and then lift your finger off.
Alright.
Alright? So pull back really gently.
I see.
Whoa. At least we've realised you can actually spell. These a little bit little.
Well, I've learned how to do it smaller.
Right, get your hand out of your pocket. Bring it up and hold the other hand so that you're steadying that hand.
Stable.
Go really close and pull really gently back, okay? So pull back even less than that. There you go.
That's mad. It's really like, really delicate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So pushing down gives you air, and
Pushing
pulling
down
the lever back
gives you paint.
gives you... Right. I'm not going to say too much actually, because I've got to have a go. But if I wasn't having a go, I'd say you're lucky you got on a bike, Todd.
It's one of those things where it takes hours and hours and hours of practice.
That's weird, but it's quite a cool effect.
Really with an airbrush then. Yeah.
Just as you'd normally do a signature, do it quite big or quite small. But if you just get it to where the paint's come out and just do your signature as you normally would.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's where you start getting into
Yeah,
the
when
flow
it's
of
all
things.
one-
When it's going and you're in one, when you're trying to do things like that, because
Well,
you
it's
wouldn't be
low.
able to do it as a
Yeah,
flow,
yeah.
it's a lot harder to get an even line. But with that, you've actually loosened off there, you've gone a bit stronger there because you've seen it fading away
Yeah.
there. You've pulled a little bit more on the trigger naturally.
Yeah.
So that's just after 5 minutes worth of playing. So as you play with it more and more, you can then get better and better. So when you're learning, all we have you do.
So you're getting used to pressing the ink, the paint.
And it's just all the time, just dots and lines, but it's also being consistent with them, so they all look similar. It's no good if you got,
Yeah.
because there's no regularity to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually looks like a bit of a cockroach, but
Yeah.
it's from blow through. So, and then you do a line, and then you can do a bigger line, and then a bigger line.
Wow.
And the difference is the distance from there and the amount of paint you pull in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you did that thin line there, and then you did the same amount of pull there, you can barely see it.
Yeah.
Now it is adding paint, which is the really weird bit, because you can be
But it's
painting
just-
something like a portrait. A lot of it is you're painting tints and subtleties to it, but anybody else
can't tell.
watching can't see this
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on until you finish the work. But if you have a go at the dots and the lines, that then teaches you trigger control.
I wish.
I got you.
That's so hard.
So if you pull your other hand out of your pocket, it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to use two hands.
Teenager, isn't he?
Yeah. And now do a line underneath it.
It's pretty thin.
What do you think, Todd?
Yeah. I'm pretty pro at it.
I think you just take over and do our help yourself.
Dad's first go.
Okay.
Jimmy.
You me? I never call myself Jimmy, I just went with that. Yeah,
You need to do Jimmy Jim, don't you?
yeah, let's try the...
Do it smaller. It's harder
try.
smaller.
Right, hang on.
He's already better than me.
Right, let's try a little picture. gonna do. Anyone born in the 80s, anyone who's a kid in the 80s will know what that means. It's the what now. Get it away from my nose. And I'll put art because it's what now art because I'm not an artist.
I can't even take the piss, which is sad.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I can see myself doing
Enjoy
that.
that.
That's nice. Yeah. Here's the booth where all the magic happens. Do you reckon, Rod? Do you reckon they'll fit the helmets in here?
I don't know.
Been fantastic checking this place out. Lee Morgan artwork. We'll put links in description. Also, if you're interested, if you ever want to learn a bit of this airbrushing yourself, they do sort of teaching here where you can come for a full day for 125 quid, or you can do half day for 65. Next vlog coming from here will be when these helmets are done, which may be up to a couple of months. We're patient, we don't mind. Give us a comment on this, like, subscribe.
Check the links in the description.
So he does say something. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Keep it pinned.